Hey guys, as they're bringing you another video. Welcome back to a high rating spectate. Not officially, I don't think Challenger, maybe Grandmaster, but this is one of the best Jayce players on EU West. And you know, I love Jayce as a champ. Again, my history with the champion, season 9, the first year I ever got Master, Jayce was one of my mains. But I have seemingly struggled on the champion in the last 1 to 2 years because I don't think he scales great. However, he's really popular. Like, really popular. Like, I know in pro play he got popularity because of the whole, like, lane swap meta. Him and Gnar, specifically, even Renekton, could deal with the 2v1 quite well. Especially Jayce and Gnar, because they have the half-ranged element, so you could at least get some farm. But considering he's maintained popularity, even though they've gotten rid of lane swap meta, I wanted to kind of watch a good Jayce and see how they play. You know, are they really aggressive? Are they just constantly going for aggro plays? Because whenever I have personally tried that, I just end up getting killed. And you're like, huh? If I had to guess, you know, Grasp of the Undying now is the go-to with Jayce because of tankiness. He cannot go something squishy like Phase Rush really anymore. If I had to guess, I think it's probably just constant harass poke. And then when you get someone low enough and you're hopefully high health, it's then just an all-in and the health bars don't lie. You know, if you've got them down to 20% health in poke, you're sitting on 60, 65, 70%, you're probably going to beat them. So yeah, look, that just straight away, constant W level 1, auto-attacking, auto-attacking, auto-attacking. So it's just like basically being a little annoying buzzy bee. Sion obviously starts W to try and negate early damage with his shield. And probably have a form of AoE damage, but obviously if you pop the shield before, then he can't use it. But like that, he just stays away, lets it ready to go, and then he can pop it as the moment he walks in. So the one thing it's worth mentioning when it comes to ranged top laners, on average, they are weaker than melee in many, many ways. But where their strength in lies, obviously, is their range. They get to do more free damage. However, especially the higher ratings you go, you need to have very, 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 very clean movement. So yeah, so far, it's kind of what I expected. It's just consistent, like, massive harass. Auto-attacking as literally much as possible. But where, again, the skill in lies is you need to make sure you're poking and you're harassing as much as you possibly can. He's denying the AoE shield as much as he can too. But he's maintaining good farm. You know, that's where it's hard to do both. It's, you can poke someone like crazy, you know, constantly auto attack them, etc. But then, oh, I missed that minion, I missed that minion, I missed that minion. So that's kind of where you could say the skill of it is. And you know, if you make the wrong mistake at the wrong time, most ranged champions will get beat by a lot of melee champs. Look at that. In between going for damage, you guys see that? In between auto attacking, he went for the cannon minion, literally during his engage. Gets a demolish proc. So yeah, like that's pretty good. And I know people have mixed opinions about ranged top laners, but what I would say, my defense to ranged top laners, and I do, obviously a lot of people are passionate to ranged tops, and the people that seem to be the most negative towards ranged tops, I always have found it's one of two groups. It's either people that main a champion that is a melee champion, so like they just main something that's melee, so they're always not going to love something ranged. Or, hilariously, I've always found a lot of the time it's not top laners, weirdly. And what I mean by that is they may have opinions that if they get auto-fill to top lane and they go against a ranged top laner, they're going to be, oh my god, this is awful. A lot of our actual top lane players know how to beat them or know what to do, because again, they are very, not easy to beat, but they are beatable. So again, going for that demolish proc, nice E, gets the plate. So yeah, this Jayce is, again, fundamentally, he's played it really clean. Positioning very clean, poking at the right time, intertwining poke and farm pretty much perfectly. You know, he's not missed any obvious minions. So this is actually, so far, very impressive. How would you teach someone to poke and maintain farm? It's a hard skill to, like, teach. Like, I actually think, fundamentally, it is actually quite hard. Like, League as a game is actually quite hard to fundamentally just sit down and go, right, I'm going to teach you how to do this. It's difficult to do that because, you know, it's you playing and your hands and all that. but I would say the basics of it, if you are looking that you've got spare time and you're like, no, I want to actually like sit down and try to practice this specifically, I would go into training tool, and I would go into a situation I'd go into a situation of you're in lane, and the starter of doing both is you need to be good at one, and you can practice farming a lot easier than practicing poking an enemy champion out, because obviously it's just the, you know, if you go against bots, they're not going to act like normal players. So if you go into a training thing, in theory, you should in essence be able to have perfect farm, literally perfect farm, if you're not against an enemy champion. And if you don't have perfect farm and you're not even against somebody, then you can't expect to have good farm when you are against somebody. So that's what I'd say. That's a way of practicing it, is become really good at just farming against nothing. And then you can start, you know, that will in general make you a better farmer than, you know, no matter what. And then you can think about having, you know, different ways of, you know, when you are better at farming, in theory, you'll be better at trading and farming, because at least part of your game has already gotten better. Does that make sense? That's what I would say. So Sion's taking a lot of damage. I think he might be going Frozen Heart first item, because obviously Jayce is heavily prioritizing auto-attacking and intertwining the W, which is the attack speed steroid, that Jayce has. So Frozen Heart will slow down the attack speed. I don't think it's the best item to rush, though, because, like, I don't know. I just don't think it's that good. Really good E stops a potential big Q by the Sion, and that could be the big Q into an ultimate, and then that's where you have to be careful. But yeah, so far, I think obviously, you know, my own games in Decent Master recently have shown, and this game is showing, confidence is definitely key. What would I recommend instead? I kind of feel like he probably, hilariously, should either go Titanic, like genuinely, and you're like, really? Yeah. Because Titanic will give him wave clear. It will give him basically 1Q, 1 Titanic, the wave's dead. And basically when Sion is taking ages to kill the wave, you're giving free time for a Jayce to poke. If you went more wave clear, so I'd say either Titanic or hell, even Sunfire, he would be like, look, so he does a big Q. If he had a Titanic, the wave would be dead, and it would also be giving Jayce less time to potentially get a tower plate, auto attack a tower, proc demolish. So I would say wave clear is being the thing that Sion's missed. I would say he can't really go back right now, because if he went back, he'd be giving another plate. So one thing you should hopefully start to see the Jayce doing, low mana. He has got tier, but again, a lot of Jayce or newer Jayce players, I think, miss. There's the demolish proc. Melee, when you're auto attacking in hammer form, it actually gives you mana back, like directly. Every single auto attack gives you mana back. So when he's not under, oh my god, he stopped that base. When he's not actually under pressure from the Sion, he should be in melee form getting it, the thingy back. So I think this Sion may have just tilted. Oh, that was a good survival though. And that'll be another plate, maybe even 2, because again, Sion, this is a disaster for the Sion, by the way. Yes, he survives, but he hasn't got teleport, and the way that Sion would have got back to lane quickly is ulting back to lane. So even though he survives, don't think of it as amazing. You could even argue that dying and then ulting back may have actually been worth it more, possibly. Yeah, he is fully committing to Frozen Heart. I do not like that at all. But yeah, I just don't think that's the way to go, but, you know. Because again, whenever you see a Sion, is Frozen Heart a Sion item? It can be, but there are a lot of Sions I'd never see them even buy Frozen Heart, you know? So I think it's a bit weird. And again, it's worth even saying, Rengar isn't as attack speed focused because he goes for the big chunky Qs. Varus is playing poke lethality Varus, not looking for attack speed. So he's building Frozen Heart, which is an anti-attack speed item, against not really an attack speed team comp. Like even Jayce, yes, it's helping getting more attack speed, like, you know, it's getting that poke in, but soon, with more lethality items, Jayce will be more looking just for the big EQ bombs going off to actually get most of his damage, not little auto attacks, and that gets negatively affected by Frozen Heart attack speed. So I think it's just, realistically, I think it's the complete wrong item for the Scion to go. Do I think it's the mana? No. So again, the angle of, oh, it gives him mana so he can W and Q more. But then Titanic solves that as well, because Titanic gives you the wave clear of the Titanic proc, and you can combine that with 1Q, 1 Titanic proc, the wave's dead. So for me, Titanic fixes that problem anyway. So Titanic would have helped him more. And Jayce is a squishy champion. If he does get caught at the wrong time with a big Scion Q with a Titanic Hydra, Jayce will die. Like, straight up. There's a high chance Jayce would probably just get killed. So that's my take on it. But fundamentally, we're watching the Jayce. How has he played this game? He's got 0 kills. There's not been a major time that Jayce has realistically looked for this kill. He's trying to build a lead by farming well. And, you know, let's be honest, he's playing for tower. That's how this Jayce has played this game. Is I'm going for this tower. I will try to get first tower for my team. I will get as many plates as possible. And that's how this Jayce... It depends if the replay's working. Unfortunately, nope, it's bugged. Ugh. Normally, if you press X, you actually get the gold screen. So, unfortunately, it's broken. So that Scion is looking for an E land to then go slow the Jayce and then look for an ulti. And he's just looking for an ulti. The problem with it, he didn't land the E, so there's no slow. Jayce also still has flash. So they are going very all in for this play. It's not a guarantee that Jayce is dead, by the way. Yeah. This is tilt, you would say, maybe by the Scion. That's a crazy engage. He didn't land his E. He didn't land the ultimate. Flashes after him. Thresh, oh, misses the hook. But this is probably going to be first tower. Sona is top lane, but yeah, Jayce is just going to focus that. Enemy team going for the actual kill, but the first tower has now died. Akali, can she get... Oh, yes, she can! Ultimates into the Thresh Lantern, and that is literally one death. Rengar died. Damn, that's demoralizing for the enemy team. Seraph is... So now we actually have four people coming top. Obviously, that is Fnatic does die as well. The Fnatic support, I believe, but Ezreal's down in bot lane, and obviously Plate's still alive. Varus is gaining a kill value, and he's gaining more plate value. So yeah, that was kind of crazy. Jayce using TP has completed his Yumu's, and then also has got Warhammer. Again, very often you don't need to prioritize boots on Jayce. Depending what champion you're against, I'd say Darius, probably prioritize boots. But something like a Scion, or something a little bit more tanky, you're usually going to be faster than them just by swapping forms. Jayce gets movement speed when he swaps form, and obviously with his acceleration gate, with his ranged E. Yeah, you don't normally need to rush boots. Ooh, Sion's bot lane. Why is Sion bot lane? There's a small chance that Sion predicted that Jayce will go bot, because he's killed the top lane tower, so he preemptively went bot side, but Jayce didn't. So I would probably say Sion should not be down there. And then we've seen Xerath here, Ezreal here, so nobody on the enemy team is top lane. 0. This is a very weird play with demolished Jayce. They're still like all just hanging here. So this is potentially a tier 2 tower for Jayce at 14 minutes. This is incredible. That really shouldn't have happened. And that's just because the Scion went to the wrong lane. That was odd. Obviously, Dragon is coming up. Will the enemy team fully commit for it? Maybe. But Jayce is going to be on their base. So now the Scion is back here. So now instantly you know, or if you wanted to fight for it, well, the Sion's not there anymore. And Jayce, you know, again, here's the thing, is he is very far ahead. He's not going to just straight up murder this Scion. It's just not the world that Jayce is in anymore. You know, as a champion, he doesn't have that absolute strength to just go, bam, you're dead, to a tanky thing. Oh, that hit. Damn. Oh, nice hook. They need to be careful. Sona obviously should be able to just get killed straight away. Jayce has stayed top lane, by the way. He cancelled his own base. Sion is actually committing to this play? But you're top lane, Mr. Sion. See, that's also the thing about Frozen Heart. Because it's an aura item, So an aura item, obviously, like, you know, it can basically nearby champions get affected. You want to be against more champions than just one. So this Scion is wanting to be against more than just the Jayce to get more value off his Frozen Heart. But the Jayce is like, well, I'm just playing for the 1v1. I'm going to just destroy your base. Hey, Mr. Bushy. Tier 2 for 29 months as well. Hello there. Hello there. So there is a world that Jayce could now go bot lane, by the way. You don't want to get this inhib this early. And for those who are like, what? Inhibitor? If you don't think you can end a game, you shouldn't get an inhib early, because all you're realistically doing is feeding gold into an enemy champion. Now, that could be a Scion, but they could put their AD carry on that, and then they're just feeding them gold, 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 gold. Now, obviously, the benefit of getting an earlier inhibitor, if you can capitalize on it, and literally, when I say that, I mean the super minions going to the enemy base you basically are hard forcing every single objective, because in theory you should always have numbers advantage, because someone has to go deal with those super minions, and if they don't, well, the base is going to start dying, because especially in the early game. Oh, big play happening. Nice kill by the enemy team. Scion picks up his first kill. And again, by KDA, Scion is 102. It looks like he's having an okay game. Jayce is 0-0-0, hasn't been involved, but it's just a different way of playing the game. So it's quite interesting. Scion might end up dead now, by the way. But yeah, how much kill pressure does Jayce even have? Not a lot. And this is a great example, I'd say, why Jayce has seemingly not been fantastic. Doesn't even get the kill. This is why I think Jayce hasn't been amazing in top lane, because this Jayce has played it, let's be honest, near perfectly. Has farmed amazing, gotten towers, tier 1 all plates, pretty much. Tier 2 tower by himself, tier 3 tower by himself. He still can't kill the Scion. Still can't do it. And that's most matchups in top lane for Jayce. He's going to just do... Okay, no, he's not. He might go for an EQ. Oh, Rengo. Alright, so Rift Herald obviously being looked at by the enemy team. Scion is over here. Lee Sin engaging. Jayce going in. So guess that Jayce can kill squishy champions. Lee Sin overcommitted and he's squishy. So that's the thing that the enemy team need to be careful of. This Jayce is not weak. He is strong. Now the enemy team is over fighting. Scion did TP in, but this might be a little bit too late. The whole enemy team got assassinated by basically the Akali. Jayce is going to slowly kill the Thresh. And bam. Run! Quadra kill Akali. So Jayce picks up his first, let's be honest, kill involvement of the game. He gets 1 kill, 2 assists. So that would have been Akali's pentakill. But before that, Akali was 1-1. So that Akali went from 1-1 to 5-1 in one team fight. Akali is the type of champion that can do that. And remember, in the last patch, Rocket Belt got buffed. Shadow Flame, I think, got buffed. So, like, burst items got buffed, even though we're not in a burst meta. But if an Akali can get a good team fight, she will do quite good things. So Jayce has finished his Mirror Mana. Wait, are those upgraded? Did he already commit to upgraded boots? Wow. That's literally, I think, the earliest I've seen anybody ever upgrade the boots. That's weird. I don't know why you would do that. If I was the Jayce, he's got TP and Flash available. I think he should take bot lane, but obviously Akali is there right now. Jayce taking the red buff. Because the problem is, again, what? Jayce, if Jayce goes over here, you're just too overextended. That amount of mobility? Okay. Fair enough. Jayce, so some people are like, oh, so Jayce is now being involved? Yeah. So again, it's more about realistically what could you achieve. He doesn't want to be top lane by himself. He doesn't want to get an early inhib, as I've said a few times before. He wants to be involved now. Whoa! And that's why you don't play mages mid lane anymore. What the hell? Oh god. Sion's fully committing. He's by himself practically. So he might get the kill. Might does get the kill. Jayce doesn't even get the kill. So again, what I'd say is we're watching a Jayce that is he's really good. Oh, he got mid cancel. Oh, he hit the E. This Jayce has played really... Oh my god, lovely hooks by the Thresh. But this is, I would say, actually quite an interesting game to watch. Is this game convincing me so far? Oh, you know, Jayce is one of my favorite champions. Should I pick up Jayce again? Hell no. And that's the thing. Like, if I'm being realistic, this Jayce is playing near perfect. He can do nothing to the Scion. Nothing. And this Scion, I would say, has built wrong. He's got a Sunfire now. The Frozen Heart has hurt the Scion in the early game. So if this Scion built really well, I think this Jayce would be really struggling. That's the thing. Is like the Jayce is still trying to achieve things. He's still trying to be like, right, I'm going to go, you know, get involved, kill towers. But how much is this... Hello? This Jayce is having to do everything so perfect to just be useful. And that's the thing. He's just being useful, and he is playing incredibly well. So if you play average, you're going to have a bad game. And that's what I would say is like... And that is what I would say is anything tanky, bruiser, meta. I think that's the world that Jayce is in now. So if Jayce is against something squishy in top lane, he's probably fine. But if Jayce is against a Scion, I don't know, a Set, a Trundle, anything like slightly tanky, bruiser, whatever, Ornn, I think Jayce will have a really, really, really difficult time. And he himself would need to be playing so well to basically make the pick worth it. Akali goes up. 3 people committed to top lane, which is a bit weird. Oh, thanks, Bushy. Bushy just said, you got to say the merch is looking amazing. I just checked out the shop and it looks very nice. Thank you. Again, we don't sell much merch, but if, you know, it is available. If you wanted to pick something up, the links of the merch is down below. We have, obviously, the Teespring shop that has all the designs. And then we've got the Raven store that just has the latest jersey. But yeah, thanks, Bushy. Right, so Jayce, next item complete. Grudge, obviously a very good item. Slows people, so it basically enables something like a Jayce to kite even better as the game goes on. Very good item on, you know, a lot of champions. Rengar going in, does kill the Sona with his empowered W, doesn't get CC'd, walks away. Rengar things. Again, Rengar is a champion, obviously I love Rengar. High fantasy, high enjoyment when you're having a good game. When you're having a bad game, not great. Where you can if you go raven.gg, I think it's raven.gg/stores/Huzzy, I think. That rings a bell. The Xerath on the enemy team. There we go. The Xerath on the enemy team, if you notice his playstyle, by the way, so he's going Burst, Xerath, Luden's Horizon, which are items that got buffed, but we're not exactly in that type of meta. He is highly prioritizing his ultimate. Now, the problem is, the Xerath is only level 12. Other people are we're level 15, nearly getting to level 16. So yeah, the Xerath is very far behind. I'll link it to you after this commentary if you want, Bushy. Oh, Sona gets one shot. Jayce, unfortunately... Oh, he gets lanterned. He's going for the Lee Sin to stop the Lee Sin doing too much. Does get a nice kill on the Lee Sin. Going for the Scion. Scion trying to do some wave clear. If you're wondering, like, what the hell, the Scion... why was he random queuing? Trying to kill minions, because if the enemy team doesn't have minions, they can't fundamentally walk into the base as easy. But yeah, Jayce Demolish proc. It is worth mentioning, I would say in most situations as a top laner, by the way, in modern day League, Demolish is probably worth it in most games. And also now at 24 minutes, it is worth getting inhibitors, because we're 1 minute away from Baron. If you kill the inhibs now, you're going to have super minions flooding into the enemy base when Baron spawns, and that will just probably get you the Baron. Now, obviously, blue team is not even thinking about Baron. They have the Rift Herald. They're looking to potentially end. And then more Xerath ultimates coming down. He might get the Rengar, but the Rengar has got fancy feet. Sona's probably got one shot again. Yes, there we go. Sona. Sion has done an odd TP. Now, again, don't underestimate Sion's damage. It is worth knowing. Tanks still do way too much damage without building any. Oh, Toro, ole, ole. Alright, I think blue team needs to be careful. Sion actually does get the kill eventually. Probably just out of pure frustration. Jayce should go for him. So obviously Jayce's killing mechanics for tanks is the melee E. That's where Jayce does damage to tanks. How much is it again? 16.4% max health magic damage. So again, quite a lot. Ooh, that just missed. And they are going to go for the enemy base. Kind of surprised the enemy team obviously didn't... Whoa, nice. Again, he's still good at killing squishy champions. Surprised the enemy team didn't surrender this one in a way. But they you know, they scaled okay. But that is a Jayce game. So again, has watching this made me go, ooh, I need to play some Jayce? No, hell no. You know, he ended 606, 250 on farm. But this guy basically played perfectly. If you played perfectly as good as this Jayce did on equivalents of, you know, Set, Darius, Sion, anything like that, you'd be giga-fed. Like, you would take over the game completely. Where he played well, he got kills eventually from killing squishy champs, but Sion was still doing okay. Sion wasn't out of this game. So, yeah. But anyway, that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, do throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the upcoming content. Apologies for another spectate, by the way. Let's just say we've had some rough play sessions recently, so I've not been as productive with making videos. So sometimes I have to do a commentary to make it as the second video to kind of give me more space, as it were. But yeah, hopefully things turn around tomorrow and Thursday and stuff. But yeah, that's going to be it. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.
Join the family tree. Like, comment and subscribe. Keep the Huzzy dream alive. Tune in on Twitch, it's the place to be. Huzzy Games Live, come hang with me. So hit that bell, don't miss a thing. Thanks for the love you're making me.